start YouTube, because for the past few days I was really struggling with what I would talk about on YouTube, and should I be on YouTube again or not. One of the fundamental ideas that everyone should understand, including me, is the fact that we definitely feel difficulty even if we love something. In relationships, things are complicated. Even if you love your family, for example, mother, you will have disputes and difficulties with them as well. Same goes with business or YouTube or whatever you are doing for your work, on your job or whatever. You struggle to keep it the same way it was, and there is something in us that always forces us to remain in our comfortable zone, and as soon as we are out of that zone, our brain, it's just like in that chaotic situation, it's like, oh my goodness, what is happening? And we are always struggling in that zone, which is like a little bit further from our comfortable zone. And yesterday I was listening to a lecture of Jordan Peterson, and he pointed out that in order to learn something, we have to destroy a part of ourselves and then rebuild it. It's difficult, we have to kill one of our parts in order to build new knowledge. And this is not easy. It really is hurtful, and we definitely do not like the idea of building ourselves again by destroying it. But that's the only way, I would say. So what you do, so he said that, if you want to learn, you have to understand that learning happens a little bit, so there are two problems with learning. If you go too easy on yourself, you won't be learning anything. And if you remain in your comfortable zone, you are not learning with the capacity you can learn. And as you put yourself into chaotic zone, which is the third step, you are either, if you go to the extreme side, you're going to be struggling there as well, because your brain won't be understanding what the basis and what the fundamentals are. And brain does require certain maps, mental models, and built-in shortcuts, heuristics and stuff like that in order to grow its knowledge. So if you are way into chaos, you won't be learning there either, and it's going to be really challenging for you to navigate what is happening. So in order to learn, you have to destroy a part of yourself, but sit down and laser pinpoint like where I am actually struggling, and then point it out that area, and then kill it with the new knowledge, gain a lot of information about it, and then navigate through that information. What is the purified form of knowledge that would build that area of myself? It happens biologically. It's not mere science, it's not mere pseudopsychology. It is more like science, that you biologically you have to destroy a part of yourself in order to grow your knowledge. And these days I am actually a lot more interested in learning, studying than I was ever before, because it is allowing me to jump into oceans that are way interesting than my boring life. And in that lecture, he also talked about why we love stories that are shared on Netflix and stuff like that. He would said that mostly in our life we are spending a lot of our time doing ordinary stuff, and we don't like it. He said that record yourself in a day doing your ordinary work, and sit down the next day watching yourself doing those work. You won't be able to bear 1 minute, 2 minutes. It's difficult, it's hard. So it's ordinary stuff. What matters is the distilled, purified form of what is happening to us. We are telling our other people's stories, and we are removing details that is irrelevant, or that we consider to be irrelevant. And stories really have impact on our brain. It gives us meaning sometimes. Mostly Islamic stories, you see, that they give us meaning to life. They teach us about our ancestors and stuff like that. So you have to, I think, if you want to be a great learner, you have to learn the science of stories, because even history is considered to be rough. There is something called narrative history, in which the historian would build a narrative about what happened in the past. So if you want to learn, you have to learn the power of stories. You have to learn how to be a better storyteller, and you will see that the coherence that story teaches us can never be learned through ordinary lectures and stuff like that. Because humans, they really love narratives. So if you can build little coherent narratives about small things, you can be really articulate about your field, and being articulate about your field will really give you the power of going into deeper and deeper levels. And I have tested these things, these are really anecdotal, but yeah, it helps, man, it helps. So learn about stories if you want to improve your learning. Then there is something called I think if you want to study better, you have to understand 3 phenomena that happen within our brain. One of them is how we build habits and skills, what it is called. Then how we build knowledge, how we actually store knowledge related to facts and stuff like that, where our logic and reasoning is stored. And then how we can memorize. All right? So first thing is where we store our skills and all that. It's called procedural memory. Stores our habits and skills. For example, if you want to prepare for your English test, the ability of you to read English is in the procedural memory. And if you don't have that procedural memory, you won't be able to prepare for your test. Then secondly, it's memory. So memory is one of the parts of psychology. So in psychology, if we study 18 things, one of them is memory. Psychologists are interested in memory. So what is memory? Same like computers, there are 3 sort of memories. So there are 3 steps. You come across new information, you encode it, you store it. All right? So we come across new information, our brain interprets that. From sensory memory, we store it into short-term or working memory, and then it goes to the long-term memory, a storage house bigger than we can ever imagine. So understanding that how memory works, we can really develop strategies to enhance our time. We don't have to cram for 10 hours. We can spend like 2 hours daily for 10 days, and it will produce better results. Okay? So what do you do then? You learn techniques about memorizing, and there are techniques called active recall, spaced repetition, stuff like that can help you learn what you want to learn in a rapid field. But within procedural and memorization, there is something called understanding. Oh my goodness. Understanding is really important, because our brain really stores all the time. We are coming across new information, but it only stores stuff that matches with our understanding. So building understanding before memorizing is essential. Memorization will be just useless. Cramming will be just useless if you don't understand the concepts. And what you do for understanding, you build mind maps, you use techniques like Feynman methods to enhance your abilities. You use your hands to deepen your understanding of abstract ideas, and you spend time going deeper and deeper with the core stuff. Yeah, so please, this is the framework that I want to build my essay on, that you have procedural memory, you have understanding, and then you have the memorization. So these things are separate from each other, yet they work together to make a good student. You cannot just use memorization to pass examination. You cannot just use understanding to, you cannot use just procedural memory to pass, and none of them separately. Maybe two of them you will fail. So you have to master these three, and I tell you that to master three of them requires separate sort of techniques that we never learn in school. I don't know why, but yeah, we don't learn them in school, so we have to learn them ourselves. And that's what I call it. Learning is a skill. So the more you learn, the better you become at learning. And this is not an argument by me. It's like I read it in Make It Stick, a brilliant book about how to study better. All right? So please, try to learn how to learn. And it's like you see people going to motorcycle repair guy, and the person who is there, he just watches his master doing stuff, and then after some time he just develops the ability to open up the engine. How does this happen? Okay, so similarly, learning can happen just by watching other people learn better, reading how people learn better. You can become better at learning. And there are people, I was one of them, sometimes I would say that skills matter. Sometimes I would say understanding matters. I was never a fan of memorization, but then, no man, you require three of them. You cannot just rely on one thing. So we will be discussing this particular thing on this nonsense talk from now onward, inshallah. Oh. Yeah, so bye guys. There was nothing interesting happening. I learned about chord system in the book called Building a Second Brain. And chord system is capture, organize, distill, and express. I am still reading about it. The book is all about this. But the idea is that you have to capture information that resonates with you and put it into a cell phone or computer or whatever you like, and then organize it. And how do you organize it? Organize it based on the actionability. And then what you do is you distill it. You find the essence of those ideas, what the book is all about, what the article is all about. So to find those answers and then express it. These days I'm really okay, guys. Bye. Thanks for watching. Where I was looking. I just had a new haircut. I'm looking like a puppu. So yeah. Bye. Allah Hafiz.